Have you ever wondered how pilots manage to land a plane safely in thick fog when visibility is near zero? It's a question that sparks both curiosity and concern for many air travelers. You're not alone. It's a common worry during those gray, misty arrivals. Let's dive into this mystery. How do pilots see the runway in such poor conditions? And how do they ensure everyone on board stays as safe as possible? And more importantly, is landing in fog really that different from any other day? All right, so we've got our question about how pilots land in fog. Now let's dive into a really cool system that helps them do just that. The Instrument Landing System, ILS. Imagine you're trying to park your car on a very dark and foggy street. You wouldn't be able to see much through the mist, right? But what if there was something that could guide you in, like a series of invisible lights or sounds pointing exactly where you should go? That's kind of what an ILS does for planes. It uses radio signals to create a virtual runway on which pilots can land even when they can't see anything outside the cockpit, just like using those park lights and sound cues to guide your car. Now, here's the surprising part. This technology has been around since the 1940s. That's more than 80 years ago. Back then, pilots would rely on manually adjusting their flight path based on whatever radio signals they received. But over time, technology has made it incredibly more precise and reliable. Think of an ILS like a highly advanced GPS for planes. It provides two main guidance beams, one that runs along the center line of the runway and another that helps pilots stay at the correct altitude. These beams are so accurate that even in foggy conditions, they can guide the plane to within a few meters of where it needs to land. So, next time you're on a flight and hear that glide slope or localizer tone during landing, now you know what it is. Part of this amazing ILS system. What happens when a plane is approaching a runway in thick fog and the pilots can't see the ground? How do they know exactly where they are and where they're going? This is where the Instrument Landing System, or ILS, comes in, a crucial technology that helps pilots land safely in low visibility conditions. At its core, the ILS system consists of two main components, the localizer and the glide slope. Think of the localizer like a GPS for the plane's horizontal movement, guiding it left or right to stay on course, while the glide slope is like an elevator, guiding the plane up or down to the perfect altitude for landing. And here's the surprising part. These two components work together seamlessly, like a precise, invisible highway to the runway. The localizer tells the pilots if they're too far to the left or too far to the right, and the glide slope tells them if they're too high or too low, all through a series of gentle nudges on the control yoke. It's an incredibly accurate system, allowing pilots to trust the instruments and follow the highway all the way to the runway, even when they can't see it. And that's exactly what we'll explore next, how pilots use these instruments to make a safe and successful landing in fog. Vocabulary: localizer, glide slope, instrument altitude. And here's the surprising part. With the advancement of technology, some planes are equipped with autoland systems. These systems can automatically land the plane in conditions with zero visibility, using a combination of GPS, computer vision, and advanced sensors. It's like having a super smart co-pilot that never gets tired or distracted. So how does it work? Well, imagine you're driving your car down a dark road at night. You've got the GPS guiding you, recognizing landmarks and telling you when to turn. That's kind of what an auto-land system does for a plane, but instead of just landmarks, it uses multiple sensors and computer vision technologies. These systems can see the runway through instruments that take in data from radar, laser scanners, think LiDAR, and other sensors. The autopilot then uses this information to guide the aircraft on a perfect approach and landing. It's like having an invisible hand guiding you down a dark tunnel. Except instead of human, it's a sophisticated computer system. The first thing pilots do is ensure all systems are functioning correctly before starting the autoland procedure. They'll check everything from wind speeds to precise GPS coordinates. And because these systems rely on incredibly accurate data, they work best in calm weather conditions. But even with strong winds or heavy fog, the system can still help by providing a steady descent path. Now here's where it gets truly amazing. If the pilot decides to take over at any point during the landing process, they can do so without losing the benefits of automation. The auto-land system will guide the plane right up to when the pilot takes control manually, ensuring a safe touchdown even in conditions that would have been considered too dangerous for manual landings in the past. This technology has made what was once thought impossible, landing an aircraft with zero visibility, a reality. It's like having a highly advanced assistant who can navigate through the foggy runway, giving pilots peace of mind and helping keep everyone safe. Have you ever wondered what it takes for a pilot to land safely when it's foggy outside? Well, the answer is a lot of training and preparation. In fact, pilots undergo rigorous training to handle all sorts of weather conditions, including heavy fog. Imagine you're learning to drive a car. You start with a parking lot where everything is clear, then move on to more challenging environments like busy city streets or snowy roads. Pilots do something similar, but in the air. They begin their training by practicing landings on simulators that can mimic any weather condition, including dense fog. And here's the surprising part. Even when they're out in real planes, pilots rely heavily on instruments rather than trying to see the runway. It's like driving at night with no street lights. Your focus is entirely on your dashboard and the road signs, not the actual landscape outside. Pilots get this down through countless hours of practice. The FAA requires pilots to follow strict procedures when landing in foggy conditions. These protocols are designed to ensure safety by focusing on what they can see and measure, rather than relying on their eyesight alone. Think about it like a game of video poker, where the cards you can't see are the ones that matter most. Pilots use their instruments to read these cards accurately. During regular training sessions, pilots make simulated landings in foggy conditions using advanced technology. They might even practice in virtual environments where they can't see more than a few feet ahead of their cockpit. This helps them stay calm and focused when the real thing happens. Incredibly rare is an actual situation where all instruments fail during landing. There are backups, just like your car has multiple systems to keep you safe. Pilots know this, so even in the most challenging conditions, they can land safely thanks to these layers of safety measures. So, to answer the question, pilots land in fog using a combination of technology, training, and procedure, making it an incredibly safe process, and that's why flying remains one of the safest modes of transportation. Imagine you're driving your car on a dark, foggy night. You have your headlights on, but visibility is low. Now, picture a plane trying to land in thick fog. That's where technology comes in. Modern aircraft are equipped with sophisticated instruments like the PAPI, Precision Approach Path Indicator, and VASI, Visual Approach Slope Indicator, which provide visual cues for pilots about their descent path, much like how your headlights help you navigate on the road. But it's not just about the hardware. Pilots also rely on training, both in simulators and during real-world landings. They practice hundreds of landings under various conditions to become adept at flying through fog without visual references. This training ensures they can safely operate even when visibility is poor. And then there are the procedures. Airlines have strict protocols for low visibility approaches, often requiring the assistance of air traffic control, ATC, to help guide the plane in. ATC can provide constant updates on where the plane should be relative to the runway threshold, ensuring a safe landing even when it's hard to see. Let's break this down. When the fog is really thick, pilots might use a Cat 2 or Cat 3 approach, which allows landings with less than 100 feet of visibility. These approaches are only permitted if the plane and crew have undergone rigorous certification and training. In extreme cases, planes may even be diverted to airports with better weather conditions. This process is incredibly safe because every step is designed to minimize risk. It's a result of years of development in aviation technology paired with extensive training for pilots. The end result? An incredibly rare instance of a landing accident due to fog, because the system works, and it works well. If you're curious about more aviation secrets, consider subscribing for regular explanations. And remember, next time you step on a plane, know that behind all those systems and procedures is a commitment to your safety, not just from the pilots, but also from everyone involved in the operation of that aircraft.